Hello everyone, I thought I should make a brief video or comment on today's market changes. One is why is the inequality gap increases? The second is how inflation and low interest rate can impact your financial wealth. And the third is where should you put your money to work? So let's start with the first one. So why are the inequality gap increases? The Fed fiscal and monetary stimulus is really great, but you really need to consider how that money will work for you and not you work for the money, so the cash effect and the value effect. The Fed is really well-intentioned with the stimulus, but with the flood of money, you need to consider one is it is killing the savers, which means do not keep your money in cash. And second, the valuation is on assets and equity, so put your money into assets. The second I wanted to mention is that how the inflation and low interest rate can impact your financial wealth. The inflation is in the front mirror for both labor and material. So wages are going up and material costs are going up, the cost of production, because inflation likely will not be transitory and remains in time, thus becomes a systematic or systemic risk. And it also signals crisis to retirement. So again, you should own assets, whom are the biggest beneficiaries of the monetary policy. So use more equity allocation in your portfolio if you have a portfolio. And the question is whether companies can pass the inflation through to the end user and without hurting the margin. This creates additional inflation, but again, it is good to have equities and assets. Or the companies may absorb the inflation in the margin, but without an increase in productivity, it will hurt the businesses or equities. So in this case, you will notice a flattening or declining margin. The conclusion is that we shall see how the margin changes will be either good or bad for the equities. And the third that I wanted to discuss is where should you put your money to work today in this pandemic environment. All said, it already explained how the pandemic has widened the inequality gap in the society between the cash stimulus receivers versus the asset owners, whom are not much affected with the low interest rates and the inflationary impact. So go ahead and own stocks, real estate, and other type of assets instead of holding on to cash. During the pandemic, the saving rates increased in bank accounts. So again, go ahead and own stocks, real estate, and other type of assets instead of holding on to cash. The conclusion is that we as a society has changed from a consumer society to a job holder society, and also from the cash holders to asset holders to benefit the most. And I hope this information helped you with where to put your money and how today's financial environment may impact you. Thank you for your interest. Bye now.